Baby love, how do you feel when people tells you that you look like Alec Baldwin?
It's a compliment.
Oh yeah, Reaper Gang, you already know what time it is. You know how I feel about them passport bros, right? Like if you can't get something out here in America, it's not finna work somewhere else. Let's go ahead and stop that coping. Let's get into it.
Well, it didn't take long. It only took 2 years, literally to the day, December 27th, for my Filipino wife to become fully Americanized, hate everything about me and what I provide, and decide to leave. Yeah, welcome to the shittiest post that I'm ever gonna make. There's a lot to it, and I'm not gonna go into it, okay? But suffice to say, after providing and going on the Disney World trip, which included the funeral for my mom, I got up to day 6, I think, on that, because it all broke down at Magic Kingdom. Fucking ironic. And I didn't post anything after that, because when we got back from Orlando to St. Simons, Georgia, I was greeted with the announcement from Jayanne that she wanted a separation. And then I discovered through text that she had been discussing this with her family and making plans to also take the children. So, that's heavy.
That's always the error with passport bros, bro. They don't think they the method. They really think that these little young girls want that old ass nigga. You know what time it was.
Right? That's a nuke. And I'm gonna go into my bunker. So I came downstairs in my nice 4-story mansion and just stayed by myself.
He had to mention that.
Through Christmas Eve and through Christmas Day. And I missed Christmas with my children. My in-laws, my mother and my father-in-law, and Jayanne, they proceeded to open the presents without me. Presents of which, all of which I bought. Yeah, the separation is a separation. I'm lucky enough to have a big house, and the logistics of it can be met right away, but I spent Christmas utterly by myself. And it's coming up on New Year's Eve, and I'm still alone. Because there's no communication from her. Why? Because she's communicating with her parents. She has the total backing and validation of her parents. Plus TikTok.
You know they was the original plotters, right? They probably sent her ass to come get you. Go ahead and get that green card, and then they finessed your ass. They been on it the whole time. I don't know what you thought it was.
All external sources of validation, and it's my position, my feelings are not relevant. She's got it figured out. She's got a plan. I'm waiting to hear what the plan is, and we'll see what happens from that point. But I'm pretty. I'm at peace with what has occurred. No,
you're not.
What could occur.
No, you're not.
I am done being Mr. Fix-It. Fix-It Felix. I'm not going to be the simp, nice guy, Fix-It Felix anymore. A relationship takes 2 people.
Too late. She already got that green card. She got her citizenship. They balling right now. They probably jamming this shit. That's why you should probably stick to what you know out here.
And she made the decision for the separation. She's made the announcement and made plans with family to take our children back to the Philippines. And she's an adult. She has accountability. It's on her to come to me and explain to me what her plan is, such that it is, and what can be done about it. So, surprise, no more countdown with the great fun in Disney World. It was a fucking disaster. And, that's the truth. Social media is not about the truth, but I'm about the truth, so that's what I give you. Thanks. Woke up this morning to almost 1,400 comments on my.
That nigga knew he was taking them glasses off. I know this off topic, but that nigga took them hoes off. That nigga put them hoes on just to take them off for the video. That's crazy.
Post about my wife requesting a separation. And the only thing I'm going to say about that right now, and not get into any details, although I know you all want to, hear more of the story, is that the reason I went public with what's going on. And I did that because I believe in this situation, transparency is the most important thing. I think it's the most important thing in any problem. Just be honest. Now, we've gotten to this point because there's been a little bit of dishonesty from Jayanne in the form of texting with her family and people behind my back, discussing things that she really should have just come to me with first. That was our agreement from the beginning of our relationship. We've struggled with it, and that deal was broken. And so I'm not talking to anybody behind her back. I'm talking about our problem to the world, so that there's no mistake that I am sincere and authentic in everything that I think and feel. I may not be right, and I'm probably not right in a lot of cases along the path that has gotten to this point. And I will be the first to admit my mistakes where I'm somewhat the bad guy. But overall, transparency is the key. And this is the new digital age we live in. This is a form of communication. Jayanne and I are not talking. And maybe it'll make things worse. Maybe it'll make things better. I don't know. But at this point, I just want a way forward without me making unilateral decisions and pulling triggers, right? So stay tuned, because I would love nothing more than for Jayanne to come online with me and say what she wants. To, tell us her plan, right? To see where this can be fixed, if it's fixable at all. Honesty and authenticity. That's all I want. Thanks.
So what's my thought?
So you would probably feel sorry for this guy and be like, all right, you know what? He had a wife. He got finessed. He's a passport bro, but I feel bad for him. But I started digging through this nigga TikTok, and I promise you, this nigga been on this shit and swearing that this is the method. So I'm on that ass, nigga. You know how Reaper Gang get. Let's get into it.
These big age gap relationships happening in the Philippines, right? Where we see an older man, a foreigner that's maybe late 40s, 50s, and their 60s dating a 20-year-old girl, Filipino woman here in the Philippines. In my opinion, I don't really have any opinion. As long as they're adults, they can do whatever they want, right? If they're in love, by all means, do what you got to do. But in the Philippines, what I do find, though, is that, of course, maybe some of these, ladies are in a really bad situation in terms of financial situation, right? They're living in the province, they barely make any money, and they're also supporting their families, so it's one way for them to get out of that situation.
Thank you. He's keeping it 100, by the way, because think about it. Why would a young 20-year-old want to get with a 60-year-old that looked like he finna disintegrate? There's only one reason why she would bring her around the family, do all that extra shit, and have kids with the nigga, is because they want that financial freedom. And passport bros kind of notice in the back of their head, but they let them delusions get on them. You feel what I'm saying?
And be able to provide for their family. Now, there are some, again, it's like in any country, they're gold diggers. They're looking for, sugar daddy to find. And then maybe that's the opposite end too, where guys are looking for a younger, woman because they have a lot of money. But I think generally most guys that come out here, they are looking for genuine relationships for the most part, right? But again, you'll see that pretty often in the major cities, in Manila and province. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of like older guys dating younger girls like in their 20s here in the Philippines.
I'm gonna tell you what, here in the US of A, we gonna say that shit is bogus as hell. We not with that shit at all, my nigga, and there's a reason for that shit. There's gotta be a reason why this young shorty dating this Voldemort ass nigga. But let's go ahead and finish this.
Hey, Mikey, thanks for, having a reasonable conversation about this issue. I'm not here to argue with you or disagree. You know, in large part, you're correct. But I want to expand the conversation and talk about some issues that you don't normally hear TikTokers speak about when it comes to age gap relationships or foreign men dating Filipinas. The guys coming over to date Filipinas, they fall into two categories. They are older men looking for companionship. They already have children, they've probably been through a divorce or two in America, and they're looking for a companion. The second category are guys that don't have children and looking to start families. And that makes the Philippines a great option for this type of guy because
Why not the States? You gotta ask every passport, bro, why not do that same thing in the States? You want me to tell you why? Because them 20-year-olds in the States ain't even running for that shit. They ain't even walking around with your ass. I don't care how much money you got. You feel me? You got to fit some type of category. The women out here in the US of A, they not playing that shit, so you got to go flee.
there's no birth control in the Philippines. Young Filipino women have not, this is going to sound gross, but they haven't burned out their ovaries with birth control. It's not a
Crazy
thing there.
terminology.
The whole taking care of their bodies is a lot more prevalent in the Philippines. They don't even use tampons there. You know, it's only napkins. So
I ain't even gonna do it.
that's a big reason, is that there is a sincere effort by, I know,
like them
American
napkins.
men
Weird
to start
ass nigga.
families. And you have a really good shot of doing it with a woman from the Philippines. Case in point, I'm 59, my wife is 28, she's from Manila, and we have two beautiful children, and we're going to work on some more. My classmate, my exact same age, his wife is from Cebu, and they just had their second child, a young girl. I'm in a social circle here in Honolulu of American Filipino couples, and in every single case, their mutual aims was to start a family. So now add to it the family values that they have in the Philippines. Well, it's a perfect recipe. Speaking of family and the money aspect of it, the large portion of American men, I don't know how it is for other guys, Australia or wherever, we have a big boundary against supporting the rest of our wife's family. Okay, we're not in it to take care of the whole family. That happens, but at least in my circle, that's a no-no. You know, we are supporting our family here in America.
That's a smart decision. If I'm dating you, I'm dating you. Like, I may, take you on a trip or something like that with your family, but I'm not finna support your whole goddamn family. They better be putting up.
You know, money is for our children. It's not for the aunties and uncles and grandparents over in the Philippines. And that's a tough line to draw, but most guys draw it. Maybe not at first, but they quickly learn that it can be a huge drain on the future of your family, and so they shut that down. In my case, there's no money going to Jayan's family. She'll have that option in the future. You know, when she has her own income stream, she's welcome to do what she wants. But at least for now, it's all for our family.
That's one smart decision.
And my last point is, I don't know what my last point is, but those are some extra points that I think need to be part of the conversation. The sincerity of the reasons. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, the sincerity of the reasons. You wasn't going out there to get cheeks from Filipino women, young Filipino women, because you couldn't do it out here. You're just sincerely trying to start a family with no cash. Yeah, all right, nigga.
Oh yeah, here was my last point. It's about divorce itself. Only recently, this year, the legislature in the Philippines legalized divorce. Up till now, divorce has not been legal in the Philippines. So right now, the attitude and mindset of your average Filipina is that you're in it to win it. You're in it till the end. The divorce.
And in hindsight, this is ironic as fuck because these videos that are shown for the rest of this video is before he made the divorce announcement. So look at the confidence on this nigga. He really thought he wasn't the method. That shit is hilarious.
Divorce is not a consideration. It's at least not a game plan. It's not a retirement plan for the woman. And you're most likely to get through the hard times knowing that, your wife, my Filipino wife, isn't thinking of nuking it all with a divorce. It's just not part of their thinking. In the upcoming generations of young Filipino women, that may factor in, but that's just part of the westernization of a lot of countries. So that's the last reason, is that divorce is not an option, especially if you have children. Thanks.
Yeah,
I have a lot of advice for guys who are really done with dating American women.
I had to mute this, by the way, because they had copyright music, so I ain't finna ruin this video.
I'm gonna be 60 years old in about 5 months, and I'm finally starting to get some gray coming in on the sides. I've been like waiting my whole life to get the Fantastic Four. What was the Mr. Stretch? What was his name?
Nigga, you is not Reed Richards, bro. If y'all look at the movies, Reed Richards had a badass bitch that wanted him in the States. You feel me? I ain't even
The Fantastic Four. His hairstyle was the white sides.
Don't you dare compare yourself to
There's not
Reed
a lot of
Richards,
gray
fuck
there coming
nigga.
in, but it's because it's mostly white because of it's cut short and my skin is there. But definitely, finally getting some gray. Oh man, sucks being so healthy at age 60. But that's not why I'm here to talk.
This guy's ego is bananas. Like, if you see the egotistical undertones when he talks before the divorce, you would have thought this would have never happened. Just in hindsight, it's gonna look like he looked crazy because his bitch divorced him.
Just randomly, without any script or any editing, about dating foreign women. Passporting, right? Because I've experienced in that too, vast experience. And I have a lot of advice for guys who are really done with dating American women. This is not throwing shade on American women at all. I was married for 23 years to an American woman. Great woman. I still love her. We are still good friends. We are still partners in business. She's still my office manager. She's a fantastic auntie and God.
So you wiped up your office manager? You was smashing on your office manager, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. See what I'm saying? These undertones, they snitching on your ass. I'll be quiet right now. Because at the beginning, y'all niggas might have felt sorry for this nigga. But after seeing this nigga background, I don't feel sorry for that nigga at all. At all.
To my children now. And I'm taking her with the whole family to Disney World this Christmas, along with my mother and father-in-law, my current mother and father-in-law. My former wife's mom and dad passed away a couple years ago. But I'm carrying on with family. You can see my other TikToks and my other social medias that I've got a 1-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old boy from my current wife, who is not an American. She's a Filipino. And
why do people do this? Because he's like 59, so he had his kids when he was like 58, 57. Like, when they turn 20, bro, you probably finna be a raisin. You probably finna disintegrate. You might have dementia. Not to make fun of people who have dementia, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know about having no kids and no goddamn 59. You feel me? Because she gonna be able to raise them kids for their life, but you gonna disintegrate.
There's very, very specific reasons why that happened. And of course, it involved me first meeting a woman outside of the U.S. and then conducting an LDR, long distance relationship, and then finally meeting up with her.
Nigga said conducting.
And she wasn't the first Filipina that I met. I had met and dated many others prior to sealing the deal with Jayanne. And there's, again, specific reasons why it has worked out so well with Jayanne. Has all to do about character and personality of the individual, not so much the stereotypes you're always running across on social media. But there's a lot of commonalities expressed by the stereotypes that do factor into it. I don't know where I really want to start telling my story of how I met and dated and eventually married and had children with Jayanne from the Philippines.
Let's just give our shouts out to Jayanne, because imagine how locked in you have to be to secure this for your family. Look at this nigga. Like, imagine having to act like you're attracted to this. I know that was brutal. Once she got that green card, she's like, I can't do it no more, mom. I can't do it no more, dad. This nigga sucks.
I guess I want to start with this. Certain facts. I live in Hawaii. I've lived in Hawaii all my life. I'm what they call kama'aina. That means kind of local white guy. But it just means anyone who's lived in Hawaii for a long time and fits in very well. People from the mainland who move to Hawaii, you know, they come here and they think it's going to be like they've seen in the TV shows. And they learn it's a very different kind of culture out here and don't fit in that well. And they stay for about an average of 2 years and then move back to the mainland. But I've been in Hawaii virtually all my life, since I was my Hanabata days. Hanabata days. You know what that means? Well, Hanabata is the snot coming from your nose. So in your Hanabata days is when you was a snot-nosed little kid and you was, growing up. And you remember riding the bus when it was 10 cents to get on the bus and ride. Anyway, I digress. I've been exposed to Asian culture my whole life, and I've been exposed specifically to Filipino culture my whole life. So I had a distinct advantage and distinct reasons why I passported to the Philippines and found my bride there. Having grown up in Hawaii, exposed to Asian culture, I have sort of a chill attitude. I have more of a chill attitude than most white guys. You take your average dude from South Carolina or California. There's a certain lack of chill. When you grow up in Hawaii, you learn a little bit of chill.
This is also ironic as fuck because he's saying there's a certain level of chill, but when he got divorced, that nigga escalated that real quick. That chill act went around. What them Hawaiian people teach you? Tap into that shit.
You learn aloha, you learn to hang loose, and just be a little bit more cool. Now, I am a very uptight guy, and I'm not always cool, but I have that quality of humility that comes from the Asian culture. I know how to be humble. And that's important when you're starting to date, because you can't come on too aggressively and be like, yeah, let's do this. And then throughout your relationship, especially with a woman of Asian background, you can't, be dominating and domineering so much. My former wife was American Filipina. Her father was second generation Filipino. His mother and father were from Ilocos Norte. So my former father-in-law was Ilocano. That's folks from the northern part of.
Oh, he's saying former. He been doing this Asian girl method. Like, bro, after the first one, when are you gonna figure out this shit ain't gonna work? They gotta be attracted to you a little bit, right? That money not gonna save you. You know how I get down there. We finna get to that OG Reaper shit.
Island. And I had a very, very close relationship with my former father-in-law because he lived on this property with us. He helped me build the house that I'm enjoying now and the house next door that we own. I worked with him every day. And that bugger was such a hard worker. And his motto was, you got to be like the ants. I'm like, what? He said, you got to work like the ants, just a little bit at a time. You just got to keep moving that to get it done. The guy had such an amazing work ethic. And, that just gave me so much pride for that aspect of the Filipino culture, and that they are the hardest workers on the planet. That's why they're all exported to Japan and China and Dubai and America. Our nursing industry is completely supported by Filipinos. Because they are just the hardest working people on the planet, and they don't complain. My former father-in-law had a Ilocano word for that, and it was called anos. Anos meaning acceptance. Do your duty. And I admired that man so much, and we had a great time together until his passing. He passed away in his home, right next door to my house here, on Thanksgiving Day in 2013 with his entire family present. So that's just one small story as to why I have great respect for the Filipino culture. And fast forward to when my former wife and I divorced so that I could specifically start a family, I knew that I was going to go to the Philippines for that, because it's where I would find a woman who had anos, acceptance, love of duty.
Yeah, get that shit out of here, nigga. We ain't even gonna run this shit no further. This is a guy right here that got tapped in with the culture. He has nefarious motives. You're not going out of there to respect the culture and then running across the love of your life. You're doing this because you're trying to secure that punani and you're trying to have some babies out there, because you can't do it out here in the West. Let me tell y'all right now, these little passport bros or whatever, not the travelers that's going out there to have a good time. I'm talking about the passport bros going to different countries, fucking adopting the culture just so they can get them pregnant and have families. These niggas is weird, bro. And if the Reaper got to come over here and do it to these niggas, I'll do it every time. I know it's been a minute. So Passport Bros, if you want to get the gun and shoot me right here on this great New Year's Eve, go ahead and shoot me in my chest, nigga, because I'm not stepping down from that shit, nigga. If you can't get a girl where you're from, where you at, you can't get them out there. They're laughing at you, my boy. You can watch plenty of interviews, foreign girls from different countries saying they're laughing at you, my nigga. You was the method. She got that green card, got them kids, went to Disney, and chunked up them deuces. And they probably balling out with your goddamn child support money right now, nigga. So go ahead, lock in, get your shit right, because whatever's happening in the West, you need to fix it. No way out, my boy. Don't let me see you on this motherfucker no more. You feel me? Now, this is going to be the end of the video, guys. If you like this, you know, I know y'all like the Passport Bros videos. It's been a while. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. That'd be great. It's been your boy, the Big Reaper. この件はわかるかい？そりゃ、終わりだ。俺に力を。Reaper on